What's going on, everybody? Dylan Napoleone, my fourth interview. I feel like a broken record, but I couldn't be any more grateful to be with my man, main event Mike the Savage Kimbel, who will be main eventing the inaugural Forca Boxing event on June 6th in his home city of Waterbury, Connecticut. Mike, this is very exciting, bro. How are you feeling just, 6 weeks away from this big night, man?
I'm feeling super excited. Antsy, almost like I wanted to come, next week. Yeah, we've been putting in a lot of work, and there's been a lot of work going into it. And it's just an honor and a privilege to be a part of the card, let alone headlining. It's almost like a dream come true, and pure excitement.
Now, you've been in a lot of big spots throughout your career, whether we're talking MMA, boxing, big fights in Connecticut, New York City, kind of whatever you want to mention. But this is the first time in 50 years that boxing has been in Waterbury, and you're going to be headlining it. So the importance, the extravagance, the honor to bring boxing back to your home city of Waterbury. Can you talk to me about that for just a second?
Yeah, like you said, I've had the honor and the privilege to fight at a lot of amazing places, Madison Square Garden, Mohegan, many times, Foxwoods, train all over London, Florida. I've been around a great group of martial artists and, boxers, you name it, combat sports. To bring it back home, though, like home, not part of my state or next time, to bring it back home, it's an amazing weight that I feel that I can utilize and not let it weigh on my shoulders, but use it as energy. Yep. It's amazing to bring myself back and think in school when I was talking about fighting and making it my career and my life and, providing for my family and things like that. And just, not to sound like a victim, to be laughed at and mocked and told like, hey, don't aim too high, things like that. To be able to bring it back to the same place with all the trials and tribulations on a positive note, on this magnitude in a professional setting, it's like I said, it's truly a dream come true. And then, I've been doing a lot of work with the youth program, with the Waterbury PAL, the boxing program, and, helping out more in the gym, people that ask for advice and stuff like that. And it's kind of taboo because I'm an active fighter, but I guess I can teach people a thing or two. So to be able to be the front runner and showcase in real time when it all matters, in a place that's not known for positive things, and the children in the environment don't have too many positive outlets to look up to, boxing can change your life, and living proof showing that come June 6th.
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned the younger version of yourself, like the high school Mike and stuff like that. I wrote it down, and you brought it up at the perfect time. Is what would the younger version of Mike Kimbel thought about this? Like, I know you've told me in other interviews, like you were a scrappy young dude, when you were in school. Now to be able to do it as a professional in your home city, it must be as rewarding as it could be. Like the feeling, what's that feel like?
It's a good feeling, but at the same time, job's not done. The stage is there, but now we have to go and perform. So, I'm not really too sure how to answer that question, because even when I was a young adolescent, I knew that I was going to take, combat sports somewhere. So I would just tell myself.
You kind of knew this would happen. You would have almost manifested this,
so to speak. Yeah, I've prayed for it, and I've worked for it, and now I still have work to do because the job's not done.
Absolutely. No, that's a good point too. But how about, I got to bring it to the venue now. Palace Theater, beautiful spot. Like, this is going to be a really cool, elegant, and violent fight night because the Palace is a beautiful venue, like I said. How does it feel main eventing at the Palace, in Waterbury?
It's a privilege and an honor. Truly, I don't say those words lightly. I didn't get to walk the stage and see the Palace. The first time I saw it was when my mom swears I graduated middle school and walked the stage, but I don't have any recollection of middle school graduation at the Palace. So, the first time I walked into the Palace was to do a walkthrough and just see what's going on with it, and I was blown away. It's immaculate, chandeliers, for it to be in the heart of Waterbury, Connecticut, downtown Waterbury, Connecticut, when you walk in, it's almost like your level of life just goes up a notch. It's an amazing atmosphere. And then to be in an atmosphere like that, a historic place that's known for booking out shows, theater and plays and artists, and to bring boxing there, it's just, I just cannot wait.
And I have to mention too, your first time in 50 years, boxing returns. You're the main event, but also, Mike, there's a title on the line, right? This is another stake that's super cool. Like, professional boxing title in Waterbury after 50 years. The list goes on of all these different things. I got to ask you, man, like, this is your first pro title of your professional career. How happy are you with the way your career's trending right now? I know you're probably excited to get active again, but just it's a good thing that's happening, right, with the title.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a step of many in the right direction, and it's the first title to, God willing, many to come, and I'm gonna have to work for it. And I've been putting in the work behind the scenes, like you've said. I've been inactive, well over a year. Not because I haven't been in the gym. I've been in the dark training my ass off to the point where my coaches are like, "Hey, we have to taper it down because there's nothing coming up." Because what a lot of people don't understand is behind the scenes, many people were trying to strong arm me, like, "Hey, if you don't sign long, extensive deals with us, you're not fighting." And it's like, bro, I'm not doing that if it doesn't make sense. And so I would be purposely getting shelved. And now, I have the right people around me, the right team, and people that are as passionate about boxing as I am. And now we get to go do it. And what better way to do it than, go and show exactly what I've been working on for this past year and capture a title.
How about the matchup itself? Felix Santana, what can you tell me about this matchup? What are you expecting?
I'm expecting a guy who's been in there. He's got rounds under his belts. He knows how to win. He likes to win. He comes to fight. He's tricky. And he's, from what I could see, I could be wrong, but he's the guy who likes to walk in and he's going to bring the fight. So I'm expecting him to come his best, but I'm also not concerned about what he does. I can only control what I can control, and what I can control is what I'm going to go out there, do, execute, and ultimately get my hand raised.
Absolutely. How about the pop that you expect to get in your home city at Waterbury? Are you looking forward to walking out? I know you keep telling me there's one job that you're really focused on right now, but just the support that you've gotten so far, the support you expect to get on fight night, what do you expect going with that?
I'm expecting just noise, whether it's good noise, bad noise. People like it if they hate it. I'm expecting to shake up the city and make noise. There's always talks for the best or the worst or whatever the case may be. I just know that this is going to be an event to be talked about for a while, and it's going to be one of those events where, outside of myself, it's a great card. If you've never experienced a boxing event, you come to this show, you're going to be a fan of boxing.
Yeah. I would think so too, man. Given the names on the card, I've interviewed, you're the fourth one today. You, Quentin, Carlos, and Curtis, and amongst more. There's way more, a couple other great fights too. How about, last question, doing your fight week at home, going through your weight cut and really not being in a hotel and stuff like that, doing it all at home. Is that exciting to you? Do you expect that to be a little different?
It's definitely a little different, like not going away for a camp and stuff like that. Balancing being Mike the Savage and then leaving and being dad.
Yep.
So that's a little different. Like the energy's not the same. For my little man, he's at the age where he wants to wrestle and fight, and he's on high octane until he goes to sleep. But it's just motivation, and I use it as like mental challenges because physically, there's never been an issue with the physicality or anything. Fighting is 90% mental, so I feel like it's strengthening my mental capacity. I come in here, my coach has tough rounds for me, or he wants me to execute certain things. Like my mental capacity is a lot stronger than it's ever been, so I'm able to turn the switch on and off, and it's been helping outside. It's a privilege to be able to be done with training, and if my mom or somebody needs me, I'm right there, as opposed to being so far. So depends on how you look at it, but I don't mind it.
And I told you it would be the last one. This one will be the last one. What can the fans expect in your first main event at home, first time fighting for a professional championship as a boxer? What could the fans expect from you on June 6th?
The fans could expect nostalgia. You know what I mean? Because if you're a boxing fan, if you're not, being from the inner city, you know, you could be at an event and you could be at a big football game and a fight breaks out and you're naturally going to gravitate towards the fight because it's just in everyone. So for it to be in a productive, professional, legitimate environment, and it's going to be action, it's just going to, you know, we got old heads that are boxing fans from the 60s and 70s, you know, they're historians. They're coming to the show. We got new kids who only know who, like, Floyd Mayweather and Muhammad Ali are. They're coming to the show. It's going to be one of those events where, you know, there's going to be nothing bad to say. You know, boxing has never died, but boxing is legitimately back. You know what I mean?
Well said right there. I'll leave it at that. Main event, Mike the Savage Kimbel will be competing for a professional title June 6th in Waterbury, his home city. It's going to be a special night. I hope to see a lot of people there, man. Mike, thank you so much.
No problem.
My hands sweating.
How was that, man?